Hey everyone, welcome to this showcase of what's new in Dialogue in Quest Master 3.0.6. To demonstrate everything, I set up a brand new demo project that I used to validate this version. I also wanted to try something a bit different and explore what happens when you combine cinematic dialogues with environmental dialogues. So let's take a look at the result first, and then we'll break down how it was built. As you can see, when we get close to the NPC, it triggers an environmental dialogue where the NPC mentions they need our help. If we move closer, it transitions into a cinematic dialogue, where we can choose to help, refuse, or lie. Each choice has more or less significant consequences on what happens next. It might not be very obvious, but the camera system has been improved. It can now track a specific bone on the character, which subtly enhances the overall cinematic feel. Here we're asking the NPC what they lost. And now we're going to tell them that it's their problem, not ours. If we walk away and come back later, the NPC still needs help. But this time they remember that we've already met and that we refuse to help. Their dialogue adapts based on our previous choice. We also get a new option to ask them to remind us what they lost. Now let's accept the quest. We've received the quest and we need to find the lost package. And here's another new feature in this update: task reminder dialogues. When a quest is tracked, you can optionally have the player character remind you what to do through a dialogue triggered at random intervals. As we move toward the well, after a short time, the character reminds us of the objective. I intentionally set a short interval for this demo. Using Interaction Master, we can pick up the lost package, which updates the quest. This also triggers a reaction dialogue from the player character. The quest is now updated, and we need to bring the apples back to the NPC. A new reminder for this task will also play.
I should bring the package back to the merchant.
Once again, we have a choice. We can either return the apples to the merchant or keep them for ourselves. Let's return them for now. We'll see the other outcome right after. This completes the quest and the merchant is happy. There's no more cinematic dialogue available, but if we walk nearby, the NPC will react to the fact that we helped them.
Not many would have bothered. Thank you again for helping me.
Now let's see what happens if we keep the package.
Hey, you there. I think I lost something important.
What did you lose?
A small package. I must have dropped it near the well.
We accept the quest.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. Please bring it back if you find it.
If we come back before finding the package, the NPC will ask if we found it. So let's go get it.
Oh, you found it. Thank you. I really
This time, if we keep the apples, the NPC no longer trusts
I
us.
think I'll keep it for me, in case I'm hungry.
I don't trust you anymore. Please leave. I don't trust you anymore. Please leave.
One last option is to
Hey,
lie,
you there.
but that quickly
I think I lost
backfires
something
and we
important.
immediately lose their trust.
I already found something.
You did? That was fast. Let me see it.
Here it is.
This isn't mine. Are you trying to fool me? I don't trust you anymore. Please leave.
And that's what you can achieve with Dialogue and Quest Master. Now let's take a look at how all of this was built. We're now in the Unreal Editor, and the key thing to understand is that this NPC uses two components to handle dialogues. There's a BPC Dialogue Actor component, which starts the main dialogue when the player is close enough, and a BPC Environmental Dialogue component, which triggers environmental dialogue within a larger radius. Let's start by looking at how the main dialogue is set up. The main dialogue begins with a branching node. The first time we talk to the NPC, it immediately presents the player with choices, since the environmental dialogue already hinted that the NPC has something to ask. So we have three main options. First, we can hear what the NPC has to offer, which then leads to a choice to accept or refuse the quest. If we accept, the quest starts. If we refuse, the dialogue simply ends. We can also refuse right away, which also ends the dialogue. And finally, we can choose to lie. If we keep lying, we lose the NPC's trust by setting the has lied flag to true. Or we can backtrack, which doesn't have any particular consequence. All the dialogues available after the first interaction are conditioned by has lied equals false. If the quest hasn't been started yet, the NPC will mention they're still looking for someone to help, which brings us back to the previous choice. But this time, there's an additional option unlocked, because that dialogue line has already been played at least once. We can now ask the NPC to remind us what they lost. This replays the explanation and then gives us the choice again to accept or refuse the quest. Once the quest is accepted, we get 2 additional dialogue branches. The first one is when the player hasn't found the package yet. The NPC asks if we've found it near the well. The final main dialogue becomes available once the package has been found. At this point, we can either return the package, which completes the quest, or keep it for ourselves, which fails the quest and sets has lied to true. Now let's take a look at how the quest itself is structured. It's mostly linear, except for the ending where it can either succeed or fail depending on the player's choice. The first step is search package, where we need to find the package. This is also where the new reminder system comes into play. In your tasks, you now have a reminder dialog section. You can enable it by checking Use Reminder Dialog, then configure which dialog to play, whether it should only play when the quest is tracked or always, and the interval at which it repeats. If we look at the reminder setup, it's very simple: a random branching node with multiple dialogue lines that can be played by the player character. You can also notice a small addition in this version. Dialogue nodes are skippable by default, but you can now disable skipping globally using the Disable Skip option at the asset level. Back to the quest. Once the package is found, we move to the Found Package step. Here the objective is to return the package to the NPC. When entering this step, a reaction dialog is triggered automatically using the configured action. The dialog itself is very simple, it just contains the lines to play. At this point, the quest splits into 2 possible branches. One branch waits for the merchant_gave back package dialog line to be played, with a reminder active until it happens. This leads to quest completion. The other, hidden branch, is triggered if we play merchant_keep package, which results in quest failure. Now let's look at the environmental dialog. This one also starts with a branching node, and the priority node is the betrayal case. If has lied is true, the NPC will always use this dialog branch. Next, we have the branch where the NPC offers the quest, which is conditioned on the quest not being started. And finally, if the quest has been completed, the NPC will play a random dialog using a random branching node. That covers the dialog structure used in this example. Now let's take a look at the camera improvements, which are still experimental. In the speaker configuration, under Camera Shots, there's a new Look at Settings section. Here you can enable the feature, select a bone to track, and adjust the camera's rotation interpolation speed. If you leave this disabled, your existing camera shots will remain unchanged. For picking up the lost package, I used Interaction Master. The actor has an interactable component, and it's tagged as Lost Package. When the player interacts with it, the component is disabled and the actor is destroyed. In the quest, there's an Interact with task that requires interacting with an interactable component whose actor has the Lost Package tag. That's it for this example setup. To wrap things up, this update brings more flexibility to how you design your dialogues and quests, with better reactivity, improved cinematic tools, and more control over player feedback. As always, the goal is to give you powerful systems that stay easy to use and integrate into your workflow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.